Amazon one.
Yeah.
I forget what's the reference to that.
If you can watch, you can watch Dark Side of the Moon, or if you start Dark Side of the Moon, was it at the third Lion's Roar?
Something like that.
Then it
like syncs up with the movie.
It syncs up. It syncs up with the movie. It's actually pretty fun to watch.
I'm gonna start. I think I should start smoking too much weed.
That's a good spot to enter a chat on.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Season 5, Episode 7, Artisanal Limbo. Today we're talking with none other than the current reigning national champion, men's national champion of Team Dropkin, the Korey Dropkin. We have a fun time talking about all kinds of stuff, Duluth real estate, snowblowers, a little bit of curling, a little bit of limbo, some dance stuff. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but fun. But first, we want to thank our sponsors, Modus Financial, moduscc.com. If you have a point of sale need, if you need to sell stuff, if you need to take money from people, use Modus CC. You can get a single credit card swiper. You can get an entire point of sale system, integrates with your website. If you're a curling club that wants to take dues, our club does. We have a whole online system with a WordPress site. It works flawlessly. Dues, bond spiels, other random fees that our club collects. Mm-hmm. We all use Modus CC. It works fantastic. Contact Mason at moduscc.com. Also, Endgame Curling. Where's my broom, Craig?
I know. Where's my broom? Keep seeing Croy at the club, and every once in a while, I'm just like, I just, one of these days, I expect him to just be like, "Here's your Endgame broom. Stop talking about it on the show." That hasn't happened yet. So one of these days, I don't care what color Croy. I'd like an icon because I like the smaller head, but if you want to give me a broom, I'm happy to talk about it.
I've got
happy to talk about it regardless because you're sponsoring the show, but I have one to use.
We're big fans of Endgame Curling. We use them ourselves. I bought my own money. I used my own money to buy my own.
You bought your own money?
I bought my own money. I used my own money to bought my own Endgame Curling, and it's great. The most economical broom head placement out there. All you gotta do is change out the fat fabric. They got club fabric, world approved fabric. A non-slip silicone sleeve. Also a pretty good travel broom. So endgamecurling.com. Contact Croy. All right. So since last time, not much happened in the curling world.
Well, not really. I mean, there's
other than the one thing.
Yeah, the one thing. So we talked to Korey. Congratulations, Korey, for winning.
Korey beat Casper in the final.
Beat Derek Casper in the final. Not Derek Casper.
Not Derek. Wrong Casper.
Whoops.
They are related.
I actually have
related,
one of the kids on my son's hockey team. His dad works with Derek Casper, so it was on the top of my brain. Danny Casper.
I wasn't expecting a Derek Casper shout out. No, this was Danny Casper.
Danny Casper.
Friend of the show, Danny Casper.
Green Bay Packer fan.
Danny Casper.
So my prediction was a little off in picking Schuster to win.
Yeah.
But Schuster made the
semifinal.
Got bronze place.
Yeah.
Got beat by Casper and Korey. Got beat by Korey in the semi. Yeah. And Korey beat Schuster in the round robin as well.
But they both beat Schuster in the round robin.
They did.
Danny and Korey both beat Schuster in the round robin, and then Schuster beat Chase Sinnott in the Page 3-4 game to get to the semifinal, and then lost to Korey in the semifinal. And we had the Korey Casper final, and it was a great game. I mean, it was
super
dynamite
good game
game
to watch. It was real
I have
fun
not seen very many curling games more entertaining than that in recent history.
The men's and women's final went into extra ends.
Yeah, I mean they're both
How
good
do you
games.
not love that?
Incredible drama.
I will say, I was tweeting with a friend of show, Ben Hoppy, after Cousins gave up 2 subsequent games of giving up 14 points, and he had made a prediction like, "Oh, she could be there at the end." And I was like, "Bro," he's like, "Just kept telling me they only count as one loss. Doesn't matter how many points you give up, they only count as one loss." And
that's true.
And all of a sudden she kept winning, and I was like, "All right, you look better than I look." And yeah, they made it all the way to the final. And yeah, it was an entertaining final. So, congratulations to both teams. Both, I think we're in okay position to get Olympic spots, but
they still got to do work.
I'd like both teams to perform decently. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah,
for an Olympic spot,
right
I should say.
Spot. We're not in great spot, but we're better than some countries for sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm looking at some of the countries below them. You look at, it's like, well, those should be the games that they win. I mean, they're not always going to, and maybe they get an upset or two and beat some of the teams that I'm not going to say that they shouldn't beat, but maybe they're less likely to beat. I don't know. I mean,
I think as we talked with Ty last time, the field is getting more even in that the teams that were the countries that were always down below are getting better.
For sure.
They're all moving up. So it's hard to count any one of these teams out.
For sure. Does anybody have big takeaways they want to share from nationals? I'm not sure I do. I mean,
I think that McMakin and Cousins deserve an extra shout out for having great weeks and being teams that were very much off the radar. And
for sure.
They both played great all week and deserve some recognition for it.
I'll give you that. I guess on the men's side, I was surprised Dunham struggled as much as they did.
They had a tough schedule to start.
Mm-hmm.
And then they maybe they didn't even play very well in those games, but they just got off to a bad start, losing to teams that were, they were playing. I think that in their first 4 games they played Dropkin, Casper, and Schuster.
Yeah. That's hard.
And then it just never really got it going. But I don't know, it happens. They're a good team, and I think that they probably feel like they should have been in the semis or at least fighting for it, or the playoffs, I should say. And they just, whatever.
So.
Just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, friend of show Lance, like him a lot. He's a good dude, smart, good trivia partner. I just fell for those guys. I think I'd like to see him sneak into the playoff one of these years and make some noise.
Do we know how the patch went at the Duluth Curling Club?
I don't. I didn't hear any reports from the patch. I guess
I didn't either.
I was trading some texts with Tyler during the course of the week, but it didn't. My sense is he kind of bailed on the patch most nights because between coaching and
broadcasting,
I'm guessing he was probably
exhausted,
probably out of gas.
I did have some specials throughout the course of the week.
I heard.
I did
some flash specials. None of them happened though.
People didn't
Although
take
one of
advantage of
them,
them.
nobody could take advantage of them. Like I'd put them out there as, I didn't want them to be like super easily attained, but I wanted people to like stay tuned to the game. And so one day I put out like if somebody makes a triple, they got a coupon code called Triple Trouble, and any of the feature games. So there's four. It was the 4-game day too. Anybody makes a triple takeout in any of those 4 games, and you buy 2 brush heads, get a third one free. And nobody made one through the first 2 games, and then I had to go curl, so I wasn't going to be able to watch the 3rd game. So I just activated the coupon just in case.
So somebody would have just slapped it in there.
And so then I get done with my game, and I look at my phone, and somebody had used the coupon. So I sent Ty a message. I'm like, "Who made a triple?" And he said, "Nobody's made one yet." And like, I'm not sure, like the 2 teams that were playing that night were not like it was a women's game that night, and they weren't big hitters. He's like, "I'm not sure that I see a triple happening today." I'm like, "Well, somebody already used the coupon, and like before I even left the club, somebody else used the coupon too." So then 2 people used it, even though it never happened.
Did you honor it?
I did honor it.
Wow,
Although
what
on
a
one
guy.
of them,
What a guy.
one of them I wrote a note, and I'm like, "I think you just did this, even just to see." I can't remember how I phrased it, but it was kind of a little poke at him for
Nice.
taking advantage of my good nature.
Nice.
But I put in a couple times like some upset specials.
Yeah, you put the Wendling in. I sent you a text on one that I really liked. I think it was on the over. Like it was on the number of points.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I did an over under.
Yeah,
and
over under. Yeah.
It was Korey Dropkin.
Yeah.
I put an over under at like 14 or something like that.
I think it was 15.
15?
Yeah.
And Danny had like 11 himself, and they didn't get there.
No. Yeah, they got up to a big lead early, and then it was. I think I liked that one. There were some good ones. I enjoyed it.
But
didn't take
it
up
was
my 5 for 5 deal though.
No. So
what was that? Give us the details.
Get 5% off, and you get an enthusiastic high five from anybody from the Brown family that you see at Bonspiel.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, I'll give away enthusiastic high fives for free.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, anyways, so.
All right, yeah. Overall, I thought it was good. Crowd seemed decent. I liked. I was watching. I think it's always good when they have national championship. Briar Scotty's U.S. Nationals, and they bring all the kids in. I think it was definitely one morning for sure that did a big group of kids in, and I thought that was pretty good. So I'm all for that.
Yep. On the streaming side, the tactical side, that's the part that I focus on, but they switched over to a different platform away from YouTube, which I saw, and I having dealt with YouTube, I completely understand going away from it.
Yeah.
The platform was okay. It froze several times for me during each game I watched. I had to refresh. Yeah. But overall, I think it was good.
Yeah.
For the first year, there were maybe a few bugs.
You lose the chat aspect of YouTube, but I don't think there's
sometimes that's a good thing.
A lot good that comes out of the chat.
There is nothing good that comes out of the chat, Mike.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
But yeah. All right. We should get to Korey.
Let's get to Korey. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We got a great show today. We got a great guest, new to the show. He doesn't have a gold medal, but he does have a gold medal at the U.S. Men's Curling Championship. He just won it. He's also got a world mixed doubles gold medal, and probably some junior medals and other colors medals. Welcome to the show, newly crowned champion, Korey Dropkin. Korey, thanks for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm appreciate you guys having me on the show and having some late night beverages and good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the only thing we're good at.
Yeah, we're really good at that.
The only thing we're missing, Joel, is the bacon. So
yeah,
unfortunately, being remote, not all in person, we're missing the bacon. But I do miss your bacon.
Yeah.
Take that how you want.
Yeah. Hey, my meat brings all the boys to the yard, or I guess to the spiel. But we whenever we have everybody in the house, I do bring out bacon. But
yeah, you gotta be.
I just think it'd be kind of rude if just us had bacon and you'd be all by yourself not having.
I mean,
bacon.
if we could line up guests beforehand, you could mail some bacon, and then they could make bacon and we could make bacon.
Do you know the budget for this show, Mike?
The
budget doesn't include mail.
I don't think it's very large. So yeah.
You know what I really should have, as like the best starting joke, was actually have just made fresh bacon.
Yeah,
that would have been great. Just be like, hey, where's your bacon? Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Exactly.
Probably at some point down the road, somebody is going to just be at home cooking bacon.
We should do a bacon. Face. We should do a bacon show.
Oh, we could.
Huh.
All right.
Bonspiel bacon.
We have a special guest questionnaire person tonight. So we're just gonna jump into that because it's his bedtime almost.
Yeah.
So
do it.
All right.
Welcome, Martin Brown, to the show.
Woo! Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Round of applause. Round of applause.
All right. What's your question, Martin? Go.
Can you get in front of the mic? We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. You got to get in front of the microphone, everybody.
Here.
All right, technical difficulties. This is just a quality show.
Technology does not work.
All right.
Is it good now?
Yeah,
yep.
much better.
Sounds great.
Perfect.
All right. In the last shot of your game, your last shot, was there any room for the tap back? Or did you have to play the double with Peel?
Yeah, that's a good question, Martin. There was not room to just tap them back. They were frozen on ours, and they were on the pin. So if we just nosed them with however much weight, whether it was, back four, back line, hack, or Peel, they would probably still be sitting shot. And so, the first shot that came to my mind, that was my gut, was just playing the short slash. I was thinking that we just make the triple and sit our shooter for one, and a little bit closer than that for comfort, I would say.
I would say, yeah.
But
yeah, you almost picked that one clean.
Yeah, I darn near did. I mean, I think we moved our back four rock like an inch or two maybe, and there's just skids sideways about like 2 feet, right? Just enough for us to sit two, even though we didn't need to. But yeah, there was definitely a moment where I thought we missed that shot, so I was pretty relieved and grateful that I saw theirs go sideways off the pin. That was a good question, though, Martin.
Didn't hurt when you started seeing your teammates start chucking their brooms around.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Craig.
Craig, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Well, it's probably a good giveaway when your teammates started chucking their brooms around.
Yeah, I think Tom was actually the last to realize that we were shot rock, because he was busy trying to sweep the yellow, and he had like a little 180 backwards hop when he realized that we won. It was pretty humorous to watch. Kind of how we all reacted in that situation. I think we've all been waiting for a long time to be able to celebrate a big one like that, and to be able to celebrate celebrate a big one like that in a moment like that where we have to make a really good shot. Just pretty darn grateful to be able to have that opportunity and have that broom throw that we've all been dreaming about, and to celebrate it as a team.
Who threw their broom the farthest?
No, did anybody's broom break?
Nobody's broom broke. I think if you looked for distance, Cooch might have had some of the best distance on his. If you looked for height, I definitely won that game 100%.
Yeah.
I sent my broom to the rafters and to the moon and back.
Yeah, because they had you over on on a side sheet, right?
Yeah, on sheet D.
So you had plenty of room the other way to throw your broom as far as you could.
Yeah. I'm thankful that the broom didn't land on the same sheet, because the ladies had to play on that sheet afterwards. So I would like to say that I put some thought into that, but it was all kind of a blackout instinct celebration.
Sure. Well deserved.
Thank you.
All right. Well, now Martin's gone to bed, so now we can
allegedly
start talking dirty.
He's listening in the other room. He's working up his next question.
He might be. I always ask, every night before I go and do the podcast, I ask the family if they've got a question for anybody or for the guest on that evening. And tonight I decided we should just bring Martin right in since I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he came through.
What else should we talk about? How's the weather in Duluth today? Was it blowing like 50 miles an hour like it is here? Oh no!
Yeah, we got some windy weather. We got some snow last night, so I was out using my my snowblower, my Toro snowblower, getting the driveway, the sidewalks all cleared out.
How big a snowblower do you have? Like, do you have like a big two-stage one, or they give you like a power shovel?
I got a 2-stage, 24-inch, one of the electric, Toro snowblowers. They're freaking awesome.
Whoa!
Electric.
Yeah, yes, you just got the batteries that you put in. We got like 2 or 3 batteries that I just insert. That way, if one dies, it just moves on to the next one, So yeah, no gas or anything needed, and it's just push to start, turn and push to start, and you're good to go.
How loud is that thing?
Not too bad. Not loud. Not really that loud at all. I mean, definitely makes some noise, right? It's working hard out there, and it's got that motor, but it's half as loud as a gas motor.
Can you get your whole driveway done with like one set of charges?
Yeah, I just did that today. Yeah, and I did the whole driveway, and I'm on a corner lot, so my sidewalks plus a couple of my neighbors' sidewalks. I did all that in about 45 minutes.
Man, what a guy!
That sounds dynamite. I was just gonna say, like, I'm the guy that just goes down half the block and plows everybody's driveway out, but I got the old school gas, so I can just refill. I don't have to wait for a battery to recharge. I do like the idea of a 24-inch 2-stage battery snowblower, though. That sounds pretty dynamite.
The only drawback to this electric thing, though, is I feel like part of the experience of snowblowing is it's really goddamn loud. Like you're letting everybody in the neighborhood know that you're out there.
5:30 in the morning. That's right.
Especially if you gotta be out there before work, and you gotta get yours. Like, I leave for work at 6, so
that's right. You gotta
wake up the neighbors at 5.
You gotta have your driveway done first.
Yeah, like who's got the bigger snowblower, right?
Mine's a 26. Thank you very much.
Do you have a 26-inch snowblower?
I think so.
Whoa, good bragging.
Yeah. Well, my last house had a pretty big driveway, so
it did have it had a long driveway.
It had a long driveway.
Yeah.
So my grandma bought me a big snowblower when I got my house. So.
Oh, your grandma bought it for you. That's
sure
why
did.
You got a big one.
Thanks, Grandma.
Well, she sure sounds like a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't snow here anymore, though, so we don't have to worry about it.
No, it doesn't.
No, I haven't had my snowblower out yet.
Same. I had my neighbor kid. My neighbor kid does snowblower repair, upkeep, whatever. I had him tune mine up and take all care of it. I haven't run so much as a dime's worth of gas through it.
Does he do power washers?
If I can ask, I'll let you know.
I got one that needs
Great.
fixing.
We should talk about curling.
Oh.
What are we talking about curling?
Oh.
Snow and plowing and all the above.
Power washers.
Perfect. Yeah. How do you feel after winning the national championship? Like I think there are a lot of people in the USA curling community that've been like, kind of got the monkey off his back here.
It was definitely a monkey off the back situation. I mean, that was probably one of the most exciting curling moments of my life. And when I say one of the most, it was probably the most exciting curling moment in my life. I mean, it was cool. I mean, a dream come true for the mixed doubles world championship, but we're way out in South Korea. There's not a ton of people spectating, in the stands. Yep. I was, fortunate to have my mom there. And it was just a really cool feat in general. But to be in Duluth, where I've lived now for a dozen years, and to have, my family, my friends, and just the community of support there, and to do it in the fashion that we did, that it was a pretty darn electric moment, and hats off to the Casper team too, because they had an amazing week. Those guys are really talented curlers, and they dominated all week. But to be able to hang in to a tough start to a game where odds are against us. Andrew Stapera looked into like the odds after the fourth end being down 3 points with 6 ends left, and the stats were like 7.6. He said there was like 91 teams that won in that situation, and like 1,100 teams that lost in that situation. It was like crazy. Yeah, but to really like get gritty and grind that one out, come back and win it in the fashion that we did, it was pretty damn special.
Yeah.
They played Casper played a draw almost as perfectly as they could. Like if they're over a fraction, you can't play the double you did, but you could still play the pick the other way. So I mean, he put it right where he had to.
Yeah, if he curls another inch, probably the triple peel out for blank, and hoping that we get the blank, right? So they made it darn near perfect. They did leave a little bit of room, but I mean, under that pressure situation, making a freeze as good as you do in 11th end, that's itself is a heck of a shot.
Yeah, because the ice is getting a little fudgy in spots, I'm sure, and maybe playing a slow line outside, and then you're coming into a fast line into the 4 foot. So it's a good shot, but you made it by just a fraction better.
So I sent you guys. I think Lazar said I talked to him on Monday night. I think he said you guys were discussing this, but I sent Cooch a message telling him how great sweep on that last shot, and then it was 2 hours later, I see the replay come up, and I realized that it wasn't him, and I had to send him an apology message, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I legitimately thought it was you sweeping because you made the shot. I didn't think Andrew had it in him.
Yeah, they mentioned that. Cooch mentioned that. That was a funny comment. Yeah, Cooch. I mean, man, in that situation, Cooch just kind of having to watch it all happen and not really have much of play in the game in that a role in that shot apart from his big time sally afterwards. It's got to be as nerve-wracking too as it gets, because it's sort of out of your control. You're kind of just praying and rooting on your teammate right beside you to frickin' dig deep in that broom and pull this out for the boys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, at least on a draw, like both sweepers are involved, the shooter's involved, the guy in the house is involved, but on a hit like that, it's just there's only 3 people doing anything, so you just gotta hope.
Yeah, yeah. When the line starts to get tight, like it is, I mean, truly, there's only one person because the other 2 people are just screaming their guts out,
Sure.
hoping that helps the sweeper grind rock, right? Yeah. What a crazy moment. I think we've all watched that shot a lot of times from different angles. We keep having people send us like their own angle, and it's cool to see the different reactions from the different angles. And there's definitely a lot of tears that have certainly been shed because of that moment. And we've all been working pretty darn hard to get there.
Got it. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off.
That's all right.
In case you just heard it ring.
You've got your Young Bucks cap on there. Do you guys still kind of ride on that moniker, or does that?
It's funny you say that because we don't really feel like the Young Bucks anymore.
Well, yeah, fair.
Yeah, Danny Casper's team, Samson's team, Ian Keaton, A Bear. You got, Mason Gensel. You got so many younger Bucks out there that are coming up in the ranks, and they all want a piece of the guy right above them. And so Tom and Cooch, they just turned 30 this year.
Holy shit, you guys are old. Hang it up.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the old Bucks, that doesn't really sound that good.
No, it doesn't sound as good. Was Uncle Joey there? Was Uncle Joe there?
I saw Uncle Joey behind it.
Yeah, the Uncle Buck was in town. He was at the arena. He was at the arena watching.
I saw him on TV midweek, and I sent him a message, told him it looked good. Looked like he should be out there.
Oh yeah. Well, he gets on the ice and it's like riding a bike, and he just starts making shots. He'll always be able to just come back, take that gripper off, have a couple slides, and there's the button.
There it is.
That's the run back. Hold on, let me warm up that shoulder, that hip real quick, and toss it, fire another one. Actually, his daughter Elsa was our sign bearer for the opening ceremonies, and it was pretty darn cool to have her, lead us on the ice for the opening ceremonies, and she seemed pretty stoked about it. And I got a couple selfies to send Kristen and Joey. So that was a pretty cool moment too.
That's super cool. Our friend in curling, XOXO Gossip Girl John Cullen, was kind of talking about up in Northwest Territories. Jamie Cooey had gone like undefeated through whatever format they had up there, and they ended up losing their spot to the Briar, to a team that lost maybe a couple games. They lost to them in the final. He kind of said like, oh man, you go through round robin and playoffs and you don't lose, and then you lose in the final and you don't get that spot. Maybe they should play another game. Obviously it's impossible to make a draw like you guys would have had to play Sunday or something, which would have been awful. Do you think there's anything to that? Like, Danny went through
undefeated,
went undefeated, beat you guys in the 1-2, played you in the final, and that's his only loss, and he loses the national championship. Do you think there's anything to that? Like, you should maybe
two
not
loss provision.
Yeah, the 2 loss provision, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe he gets another crack at it. Do you think anything about that?
I think there's certainly a time and place for that. I think, for the Olympic trials, there's the best of 3. For the men's team, the women's team, also mixed doubles, they have the best of 3 final. And I think that is appropriate. If you bring that into a national championship, you certainly could. I think there's pros and cons to that. It's definitely, I mean, you could argue it both ways also for the Olympic trials. But being able to close out that final game, no matter your record, doesn't really always depend on the road that you get there, but just that you get there and you get yourself into that game, to give yourself that opportunity. But there certainly could be. I know that in juniors, we had actually something similar happen where in 2015, our team went undefeated and then lost to Ethan Myers in the final, and they went to Junior Worlds.
We're losing you a little bit.
USA Curling actually. Oh, can you hear me?
We're losing you a little bit.
We lost you a little.
Can you hear me?
Dropped out a little bit there.
We heard you say that you went undefeated, then lost to Ethan, and then we didn't hear much else after that.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then the next year, there was actually a shift in the rule book, weirdly enough, that there was a double loss provision for a team that was undefeated at a junior national championship. So I didn't really have any part in doing that, but I think I got some backlash because the rule was made, because it felt like a situation that I was in. And then there was, the rule that was then created after that. So, similar instance where, that could happen in the future. I think USA Curling could certainly consider doing something like that. In Switzerland, I believe they have like the best of 7. When 2 teams do the best of 7. But I don't really know what the right answer is.
Got it. No, I was just I don't think there is a right answer. I was just curious. I mean, even just looking at the X post that he had, it was, there were a lot of Briar players and World players and Slam players that, like, it's a pretty well established format. Like, you get to that game, you could be undefeated and you lose. Like, it sucks, but like, we play at that level to get in those games. Like, if you're an elite curler, you don't always get a chance to, like, win the big game more than once. So I was just curious what you thought. I mean, I was,
also John, being part of the broadcast crew, like, there's nothing we're cheering more than no tiebreaker games.
No, yeah, I get it.
But like to have like,
I hate that attitude.
Come towards the end, and then, like, it could be done now. It could be done in 2 days. Like,
yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, I get that. Like, it's a nightmare from the standpoint of, like, trying to sell tickets and getting people in the arena and staffing things. I understand that, but ultimately it should be more about the athletes and the championship as opposed to, like, are we gonna have somebody to sell nachos to the four people that are gonna be there or whatever? Like, that should be inconsequential. It should be more about the championship itself. But I was just curious what you thought about it. I like John. He has some, maybe not hot takes, but he definitely has takes about curling and what transpires. And I was just curious to see what you thought about that, because going through the comments, somebody definitely brought up your game, and that, it was like, Danny Casper hadn't lost, Korey won. Like, that's the way it goes. Like, you don't always get more than one chance to win the championship. So,
yeah. I think it's a good idea for the Olympic trials. I think the nationals are fine the way they are. And it sucks if you're clearly the number 1 seed and you lose that game, undefeated or not. It's even worse undefeated, but it's the way it is. But for the Olympic trials, I think it's good that they have the best 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
So
it's a tough pill to swallow if it happens. That's certainly something that you learn from, and that's definitely going to be something, that team's going to take a lot away from that game and that opportunity. They're going to learn and they're going to come back even better, no doubt about it. So yeah, it'd be interesting.
Do you think Casper finished top of the heap in Denver?
What do you mean?
2 years ago, they finished top of the round robin.
Oh,
in Denver 2 years ago.
I don't remember.
They were up towards the top somewhere.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it was a great game. You both played well enough to win, and one team had to win. So, Yeah, it was a great game.
It was extra, and you won by a fraction of an inch, so
yeah,
it doesn't get much tighter than that.
Very exciting finish. I mean, for the audience, no matter who won and who lost, it was just a really good, TV type of game.
That's for sure.
100%. A couple weeks from now, you're going to be out in Denver. Speaking of Denver, at the doubles trials. How do you feel about the doubles trials coming up?
Good. Feel great. I'm looking forward to playing with Korey. I always have loads of fun playing with her. She's just someone that, just breathes confidence in a way. She doesn't really care what the situation is. She believes she can make anything. We work really well together as a team. It's going to be a tough field out in Denver. Everyone's going to be gunning for everybody. But there's no easy games. Every game's going to be important too, with it being, a 10-team round robin, top 4 moving on, page playoffs, and a best of 3 final. It's going to be a lot of games. There's potential that a team could play like 14 games, I think.
Oof, that's a lot of games. Yeah, that's Korey TC for those of our listeners who aren't 100% familiar with your
Mike. We gotta be consistent.
Partners.
It's Korey Christensen.
Korey Christensen.
Sorry.
We have to be consistent.
What kind of consistency?
I called Team Benson Team George all week, so
yeah. We are not willing to research enough to learn new married names, so we are basically going with maiden names only.
Poor Sam TC.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even know Sam, so I'm sure he's a nice guy. But,
are you concerned about the altitude at all out in Denver?
No, not really. I mean, I think I played enough in Denver to, have a good understanding as to what it's going to feel like, what the differences are going to be. And it was really nice to play there earlier this year at Rock Creek, and to just get the feel of their ice. It was actually the first time I competed there. I'd practiced there once before, but that was really the purpose of playing there at the Colorado Cup, is to just get as many games in at Rock Creek as possible, with that being the Olympic trial site. Yeah, it should be good. Not too concerned about that, but just more so wanting to make sure I'm just, well rested, well recovered from this past week, and get all my training in the next week and a half that I need to be ready for the two of us.
For sure. How long have the two of you been a mixed doubles team?
About just over 2 years.
Okay.
We joined up right before the 2023 season.
Okay.
Then you just went and won a world championship.
Yeah.
Like it's the easiest thing in the world.
Pretty much. Yeah. Just about a year later. So that was kind of cool. It was a little bit, I don't know. I think just, it was hard to believe just how everything panned out so perfectly. You don't necessarily realize what's happening until it all happens. And we just mixed really well together. Our strengths really play well as a duos pair. And I think we both trust each other, and we communicate really well since we've been such great friends and been living in Duluth for so long, that it works really darn well as a team.
Plus, she's better than you, so it's nice to have somebody make all the shots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will tell you that honestly, every day of the week. That is the best curler in the United States, and she's my teammate. So I'm pretty darn proud to have her as a teammate, and thankful that she's my teammate.
Yeah, for sure.
Go.
Go ahead, Mike.
No.
Nope. You go. You go.
I was just gonna say, how do you normally tackle kind of your lineup? Because I don't remember from Madtown Double Down, but that's a dumb question. Craig probably had a better question, so you can answer mine, or Craig can ask his, and you can pick which one you want to answer.
Why don't I? I'll just answer that one.
Okay.
So she throws first and last. I throw middle three. We've kind of always done that. She's a great last rock thrower, and she always has been. Not that I feel like I'm not, but it really works out well being able to have her throw first and last, me be able to throw the big weight in the middle three if we need it, and then just be able to sweep everything. And she's got a great feel for strategy and for calling line, so it works out well.
You guys like burritos?
100%. Love burritos.
There's a lot of really good burrito places, just Mexican restaurants in general in the Denver area.
Oh yeah, our coach, my men's team's coach, Mark Lazar, he's got a pretty good feel for a lot of the Mexican restaurants. I guess there's one spot that he goes to just get a bunch of burritos that get wrapped up and they're like a couple bucks a piece. So he showed up to the Colorado Cup with 20 burritos at one point. And I'm like, it's like, you want one? I was like, yeah, I'll take 3. Please. I'm hungry. I just got off of sweeping the game. I'll take 3, please.
Who's your mixed doubles coach?
Kathy.
Okay. Who does Mark coach in doubles?
Andrew and Sarah.
Okay. All right. I had a different question, and then I forgot that. So then I had to audible to the burrito question.
Sorry, Craig.
It'll come back.
Yeah, probably. How long have you been in Duluth? 12 years?
12 years. Yeah.
Jeez, you must be getting old too then. When do you turn 30?
June.
In June. You are getting old.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, 2013 I moved here right after high school.
Okay. And you're selling houses now?
Selling houses in northern Minnesota and Wisconsin.
How's that going?
It's going great. I've been in the industry for about 4 years now. When I used to landscape, I built up my own business, and I kind of got to a point where I either needed to invest in bigger equipment or shift elsewhere. And I was starting to get super interested in real estate, between investing and just wanting to soak in as much information as possible. So COVID hit, I bought all the books to study for my license. Did that pretty darn quick while still doing a little bit of landscaping. And yeah, once I got licensed, I found someone I wanted to work under, and he brought me in. Told me that he doesn't pay, and that if I'm cool with that, I can come shadow him and learn from him. And I'm like, hey, that's cool with me. I just want to learn. I just want you to show me the ropes. I'll learn and I'll help build your business and build mine as well. And that's what we've done. So I've been in the industry for about 4 years. I got my license in Minnesota and Wisconsin. So I kind of work, a bunch of the counties, between, and figured I'd have the Wisconsin license since I'm on the border. It's the smart move to do, because a lot of my buyers especially will be open to searching both sides of the border between Duluth and Superior. So it's been a great business for me. I've really appreciated it, especially the flexibility. When I'm gone curling, I've got a team to back me up and show homes for me, so I can still get my clients in the homes, even if I'm not in town.
So the past few episodes, we've learned a bit more about the alcohol rules in Duluth than I had thought we ever would. Those laws got overturned a few years ago. Are there any strange laws that you know of in Duluth?
Like real estate
wise?
Well, yeah, you couldn't sell liquor past on this side of town.
Oh yeah. Do you have to disclose it if somebody like died in the house, or?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah, if somebody died in that house, do you have to tell the new people?
Depends on how. If murdered, technically it should be disclosed. If just natural causes, no.
Technically, so you know. What if somebody hanged themselves?
Oh,
It happened like, I mean, I don't want to go too deep into this, but
getting
like,
a little dark here, McDermott.
Yeah,
dude, three doors down from my house, somebody hanged themselves.
Huh. That's too bad.
Like, yeah, this is weird. But anyway, that house just sold. I hope those people don't listen to this podcast because they probably don't know that.
They don't.
Yeah, that one I'd have to go back and check the books on, to be honest.
Got it. Man, learn something new every day.
Yeah, that might be one you got to like think twice. Am I going to take this house to try and sell, or or am I going to take my clients to this place? I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, it was weird when that went up on the market.
I feel like you would have to if you were trying like taking clients to it. I think you'd have to tell them that.
I think that is something that should be disclosed.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time believing that didn't need to be disclosed.
Yeah.
But as I said, I'd have to check the books on that one. That one is a gray area in my mind right now.
That's fine. Got some homework tomorrow.
What's the weirdest like house related showing? Like what's the weirdest thing that you ever saw in a house when you went to take somebody there to look at it?
Whew. Great question. I wasn't expecting that.
Hard hitting questions on our podcast, Korey.
Any like full nude paintings on the walls?
How about this? Here's, I guess, the best quick answer I can give you without taking a longer moment. I was showing a rental property, and the tenants were all informed. I was the showing agent. Listing agent had informed all the tenants that were coming through. One of the bedrooms that was partially closed but not completely, I started opening, and as I opened the door with my two clients behind me, all of us, being able to see through as I opened the door, there was a couple sitting in the bed in the middle of taking a drag from a bong, and there was a mirror hung right next to the bed as well. That just kind of the whole picture that we walked into was a really awkward and weird situation. It was like, apologies, pardon us. Realtor was doing quick walkthrough, but we'll visit another time. Thank you. Sorry. And it was a super awkward situation. And this was my first year with my license. So I'm a newer realtor. I'm, learning the ropes, learning quickly, of course. Every week we're learning, right? Learning something new. And I've brought my clients into this single family rental that we open a bedroom door, and that's what we've walked into. So that was
dynamite.
Were they clothed or were they unclothed hitting this bong?
Partially clothed.
Okay.
I was just gonna say semi-clothed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very minimally partially clothed. They weren't. It was not on the top of their mind that someone was about to walk through the door.
Yeah.
That's pretty
good stuff.
Yeah.
That's that's great. That's pretty.
All right, I got a different question. What is the dumbest thing in a house that you've ever seen? Like, why did you just walked through it and then afterwards you why the fuck would somebody have that in their house? Or like, why would they make their house this way? You know, like whether it's an addition or, you know, like a weird room or just something in there that you're just like left your scratching your head for a long time after the fact.
Yeah. The first one that pops into my mind, there was this house in the Woodland neighborhood that it was a nicer house. I was showing it in the middle of the night, so it was dark out. We're kind of walking through with my friend and client, and we're on the second floor. There's this sliding door that, you know, isn't marked or anything, just a regular sliding door. So we open it, and there's just this straight 30-foot drop that isn't marked off. There's no warnings. There's nothing. Heavy hazard, right? You know, but if you don't look twice,
a bucket and some lotion like next to this pit?
No. You know,
it's like a sliding door to the outside. It's like, I'm sure there was probably supposed to be a deck there or something, but there wasn't. Yeah.
No.
It's as if there was a deck and it was taken off. But there was also, when we went outside, no signs of
a deck ever being there.
Correct.
Oh. I feel like that's something you should like.
That's a disclosure right there, and that's
either
you're ripping that spot off, right?
Yeah.
So no one's actually opening the door to ever. I mean, it's a liability. It's a huge liability, truly.
All right.
So that was, you know, for safety's sake, you know, not just for myself and my client, but also other realtors and their clients, but the liability's sake for the safety of the sellers and the listing agent, definitely had to mention that to the listing agent to just make sure you're.
Hey, put up a sign.
You know, yeah, caution tape that thing and put up a sign, so that nothing happens.
Hey, giant 30-foot drop.
You know what would have been awesome though is if like on the ground they would have like taped off a body shape where somebody had fallen.
Some crime scene tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I got one more real estate question. What's the coolest thing that you've ever seen in a house that you toured that you're like, oh man, when I get like the means, I am definitely doing this in my own house?
I mean, I think the correct answer is a golf simulator, but you can answer however you'd like.
Yeah, there was one house that I showed that has a, you know, for Duluth, it's not super common, but a pool, like a pool house in the basement, basically, you know, pool with a sauna and a steam room, and it was definitely a little bit outdated. But having the amount of square footage that this house had with this just grandiose entry, and the massive, you know, family room that it had, and then just the staircase that went down to a recreation room that right beside it, there was this big pool room that, you know, had a steam room and a sauna, and it was just like, wow, this would be good living. This would be really sweet. Definitely beyond what I will probably get to in my life. We'll see, but it would be really cool.
All right.
Nice.
All right. Thanks for answering my real estate questions.
Yeah.
Welcome to Real Estate Talk and Curling Nation. The show probably comes out after this transpires, but you can look like Nostradamus. Who you like in the Super Bowl?
Oh. It's hard to bet against the Chiefs, man. I'm going Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs. It's
close boat race. What do you like?
I think it'll come down to the last 2 minutes.
Okay.
Last two minutes, Mahomes has got the ball in hand, and scores a touchdown to separate it by a score.
Okay. All right.
I think
Heard it here first.
Okay, love it. I
think the refs are betting on that result as well. So
well,
I'm
truly,
taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, truly, he was throwing a pass on the 4th down, and they got a pass interference on a ball that wasn't caught, and the defender wasn't anywhere close to the receiver, but the flag was thrown, and next thing you know,
they're throwing that flag just in case.
There we go, just in case. We can always pick it up. Oh, something better happened. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Awesome.
I think, man, I don't want to alienate any curling people out in Philadelphia area, but
I will.
I don't like the Eagles, man. I've been pulling against the Chiefs all year. I don't need to see a team win 3 in a row, but now that it's come down to these two, I think I dislike the Chiefs less than I dislike the Eagles.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, no, I understand that. I will say I was definitely hoping Josh Allen was going to pull out the AFC. I was hoping that he was going to finally slay the dragon, so to speak. But, man, I think when you're going Chiefs and Eagles, I think it's going to be a really good game. But, yeah, I think I'd probably lean towards the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think you and the entire nation was pulling for Josh Allen to win that game. Like, I don't think there was anybody who's like, you know what I really want to see? Taylor Swift and Patrick Mahomes for 4 hours on Super Bowl Sunday. That's really what I want to see.
Corey, so where do your football heart lies? Like, you grew up on the East Coast, but you've been in Duluth for 12, 13 years now. So
nobody's going to like this answer.
It's the Patriots.
Patriots?
I already know it. I'm walking out. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Walk out. Go ahead, walk out. No, I'm a Patriots fan for sure. I definitely started becoming a Bucs fan when Tom Brady shifted to Tampa Bay. So I enjoy and cheer for the Bucs as well. It's fun, especially watching just them still put it together, and Mike Evans is a beast. But I root for the Vikings, man. I've been in Minnesota for 12 years. I wanted to see the Vikings go to the Super Bowl just like every other Minnesotan wanted, but we knew it wasn't going to happen.
Hell yeah.
Nobody wants to see the Vikings go to the Super Bowl. They should live in perpetual sadness.
Shut up, Mike. You got thick Kenny shell.
Sounds like you're kind of a Tom Brady fan. Are you going to shift your allegiance to the Raiders then, since he owns the Raiders? I mean, they're
only 10% though. He's got a
really solid tackle football team out there.
I don't think the allegiance will be shifted to the Raiders just because Tom Brady owns the Raiders. Nope, can't do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, should we get?
Right.
So
we're not going to kick you off, but we got some questions we're going to ask you that we ask all of our guests. We didn't really touch on this because we talked about all the recent stuff. How did you start curling?
I started curling. Well, when I was 5 years old. I kind of just grew up into the sport. My parents were super involved with the junior program at Broomstones. Mm-hmm. And just kind of growing up in the family, my brother was already curling and loving curling. So I just, I spent a lot of time at the curling club even before I actually knew what curling really was, right? And kind of followed in his footsteps, in my parents' footsteps and my brother's. And, I traveled around watching my brother play and compete at junior nationals. And until, we finally almost beat him. He picked us up, and we ran the last 3 years of his junior career together. Mm-hmm. So that's how I started curling. And just, over the years of traveling and seeing what the Midwest and especially Minnesota had to offer, that's kind of when I decided after high school I needed to shift to Minnesota, especially Duluth, to pursue what I wanted to do here.
Nice.
How much older is your brother?
5 years.
Okay.
All right. Other than what you've ever considered your home club, what club do you like to play at?
That I have played at, or that I haven't played at.
Well, other than your home club, what's your favorite club?
Where do you like to play?
Yeah, what's your favorite club that's not one that you've ever considered home?
Banff. The Banff Curling Club is. They got a doubles event there that they always host, and this year they had, their trials qualifier event there, so U.S. teams couldn't go, but it is one of the first events on my schedule every year. I love it, being in the mountains. At the Banff Curling Club, you can actually see the mountains through like the windows, the smaller windows, but on the side of sheet A, and just it's a gorgeous place, and it's a sweet curling club that they have there.
How many sheets?
4 sheets.
Yep. I've heard that answer. We've had that answer, I think, once or twice, haven't we?
Correct.
I think so.
Yeah, we
at
have.
least once. I think.
Somebody gave it at least one time,
I think so.
or at least it was an honorable mention
I agree.
by somebody.
Do you have a favorite bonspiel? And if you do, why? Why is it your favorite?
Favorite bonspiel. You know what? I would say I'll just do a shout out to House of Hearts in this one because it's always a blast. It's just sometimes you don't really remember too much of it.
Why?
True story.
Yep.
Just
Greg,
everyone getting together and having a good time. Joel breaks out the bacon. There's lots of dancing, curling almost gets in the way, so you almost can't really call it a bonspiel.
Curling
but
100% gets in the way
Mhm.
at House of Hearts.
Yeah.
Blacking out for the kids.
Are you able to go this year, or do you have to go off to Worlds at that time?
We leave for Worlds the Tuesday after, so I won't play in it. I'll probably I'll probably show up for a night, but just for my health's sake,
yeah,
I'm gonna stay away from competing in it and being
That's probably smart.
too involved.
that's the right choice.
Mhm.
It's as much as you don't want to miss it, like that's the right choice to not show up if you have to leave 2 days later to go to the World.
Hang out for a couple hours, have a couple beers.
Yep.
Don't shed any blood.
Take some pictures with people that want to take pictures with you, and then get out of there so you don't get sick or worn down or whatever. Good choice.
I mean, I could probably do it.
You definitely could do it. You wouldn't have as much fun though.
That HOH 3 to 5 day hangover would probably shake off by game 1 at Worlds. But
True story.
Olympic qualifier points are on the line, so probably gotta take her easy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Who are you guys? Here's a spin-off question. Who are you taking as your 5th player to Worlds?
Undetermined at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, still.
Well, you
so
have
that's
my
more
email,
discussions.
so just saying, you got my email.
I'm
Mike
available.
Mike played a pretty good game on Monday night. Just saying.
I'm
make all your draws.
Did
you make all your draws?
No.
No.
85%.
But he played pretty good.
85%.
What? Mike,
I'm pretty good sweeper too. I'm pretty good sweeper, and I know I can easily carry 4 beers.
5-1 for yourself.
I definitely would bring up the handsome factor on your team. I'm very handsome.
Okay. Serious question.
I was gonna take that the other way, saying like you look more handsome.
He's got a serious question. This is a serious podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The serious question is how many beers can you chug in a minute?
Ooh, at least 2.
Okay. Not a bad answer. I mean, it's decent.
I mean, yeah, probably 2. If they're we're talking 12 ounces like in an open plastic cup, right?
12 ounces in either a can or a cup. Your choice of how you want to tackle it.
Yeah, I probably 2. I'm older. I'm older than
2.
you are.
Yeah, you got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I think he could do 2 easy.
2 for sure. I'd try for 3. Might not get the whole 3rd one down.
No, I don't think you would, but
I would try though. If that was make or break it to get on the team to go to Worlds, I
better freaking down that third one. Sir.
I could train. Yeah. I could train for a week, and I could guarantee you I'd get the third one in.
Yeah. So I would bring up the handsome factor on the team, just by the fact of you guys standing next to me. You will look so much better. So just think of your self-confidence standing next to me, right? Like.
Oh my God. Yeah, wait. You know, well said. Thanks, Joel.
Nice. Yeah. That boy, Joel.
And where is this? This is in Moose Jaw.
Yeah, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Have you ever been to Moose Jaw?
I have not. No, but I hear they show up. I hear they show up.
I think it's probably going to be a dynamite place to have a Worlds. Like I think some of those kind of mid-sized cities in Canada.
Yeah,
that's the place to go. You're the big show, and they're all going to come out for it. So.
Well, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I have a question not related to our end of show questions. The last Grand Slam, you guys tried to pull off some sort of quartet during the Grand Slam of karaoke. How do you feel like that went? Because I've seen some videos, and I definitely could up your karaoke game if I was on your team as well.
Okay, that's where you're going. Well, you know what? I thought our performance was decent for the variables that we had.
Okay.
We were originally told that we were going to have a full stage to be on, versus the stage was actually quite small. So, like, if you had one or two people, you could be up there. But for what we did and the moves that we broke out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did some like four tops shit. I mean, it was was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but we needed to be down on the floor, which made it so that only so many people could see us, because it was actually a pretty, I mean, the Slam is doing a very impressive thing right now with, you know, what they've got going on. Nick Solsti's bringing his game, and there was a lot of people there, but a lot of people actually had to bring up the stream to watch us because they couldn't get a view of us.
Okay.
You know, the other part is what we practiced doing our whole routine to. The band that was there that played skipped what we were using as our, like, there was like a 7 or 8 second, like, you know, like working up into a certain, like the piano popping in and the beat going down to the music, and they just totally skipped that.
Kind of skipped the bridge. They skipped the bridge.
Skipped the bridge, and then I think we were kind of just thrown off by that.
Okay.
It was a little bit quicker of a beat that we weren't used to.
Okay.
What song was it?
December 1963.
Okay.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
All right.
But, you know, apart from that, and apart from being a bit, you know, hoarse to my voice, I thought we put on a fun show. I thought we brought it out for the Slam.
Hello. Okay. All right.
Moving on with our questions. Setting money and championships aside, what's the best or weirdest thing you've ever won curling?
Not the weirdest, but the best. One of the cooler things that I've won is back to Banff. You know, the Banff mixed doubles event. One of the mountains that you can see through the windows from the curling ice is Mount Rundle. And what they did is, for their winners, they made these like little trophies in the shape of Mount Royal that's actually made from the stone of the mountain.
That's pretty cool.
For us to take back as little trophies from the championship. So that was probably one of the cooler things that I think I've won from, especially a competitive event.
That's a good answer.
That's pretty cool.
I like it. All
right. What's the skill or talent outside of curling that you'd like our audience to know about?
Stick to my guns on the limbo. I know how to limbo.
Whoa.
Huh.
And I'm pretty good at walking on the insides of my feet.
Wow.
Didn't learn it from my dad, but after my dad realized that I was good at it, he told me that he would was probably even better than me when he was my age, and that surprised the shit out of me.
So what I'm hearing is you're petitioning Nick to have a Grand Slam of Limbo at either next year's slams or maybe one of the waning slams this year. Is that...
You should tweet that right at him. Grand Slam of Limbo contest, and that would be cool.
At Korey Dropkin guarantees a win.
Yeah. Sebastian from the Italian team, he would probably be a very hefty competition in that Grand Slam of Limbo contest. I've seen him in action, and it's also impressive.
Wow.
So I think it would be a good. I think it would be a good show, though.
It'd be a good show.
You know,
be a good show.
After the karaoke, you clear the stage or part of the stage, and then you get that Limbo contest going.
Get the Limbo stick out. All right, I love it.
I don't see how this can't happen. No.
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it. I got it. I'm tweeting, live tweeting right now.
How'd you discover this talent for Limbo?
Man, I don't even know when it would date back to, but there was just like a fun event that I was playing at, and for some reason someone started doing the Limbo, so I was just like watching what they were doing, and the good Limbo artists were on the insides of the feet, so I was just like, well, let's see if I can do that.
The good Limbo artists.
Yeah, I don't know what you call them. Limboists.
No, I like Limbo artists. Yeah.
I like Limbo artists as well. That's dynamite.
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Now what do you got there, Craig?
I am I'm having an aperitif.
Okay.
It's called Appenzeller. I went over to my fridge, my little beer fridge, and the first, I didn't want to dig. And so then I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a cocktail of some sort. So then I just looked at the liquor cabinet, and I got this bottle that I bought in Switzerland when I was there last year, and
nice.
Decided I'm going to have a little sipper of that.
Just leisure in Switzerland, just for fun?
Yeah. Well, I was there curling. I went the 2000 national championship team, minus one guy, decided to take a return trip to this tournament, this spiel, 23 years later, 24 years later. Because the last time we were there, we were 24 years old and, in Europe for a week with no supervision. And so we basically just repeated that at age 48 instead of age 24 or 25 or however old we were. And we had a great time. We drank way too much, just like we did in 2001.
In the good old times.
And just had a blast. So then I brought a bottle home. So
nice. It's just now, this many years later, you're probably a bit more hungover each morning.
We were champs. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but we drank like we were 24 or 25 again. It was impressive.
Do.
Yeah, we did it all, man.
That's awesome. Everything. Well, good for you. That sounds like a blast. I can't wait for, things like that where, down the road I can just go have fun. And, often when we're on the road curling in competitive events, you get a little bit of time away, you do some sightseeing and appreciate where you're, traveling to, but it's not like you're letting loose by any means unless you're out. When you are out, probably got letting a little bit loose, but being a bit more relaxed.
Speaking of, we need some more episodes of Cooch Does Stuff.
Yeah, why did that go away? That's one that I was going to ask earlier, and it slipped my mind. Why did the Cooch Does Stuff go away? Is it just because he's perennially injured, or is he just old and tired, or what?
You are the dozenth group of people that have asked for Cooch Does Stuff to come back. So maybe we'll just have to do that at Moose Jaw.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
like
sure.
the fact that like he did like 2 things that I asked him to do.
Yeah.
And like
I'm pretty
all
sure I
enjoyed
threw
it.
out a hot wings challenge for Cooch to do. So, we need some more Cooch does stuff.
Maybe just had a little bit of embarrassment from the scallop challenge.
Yeah, that was bad.
That didn't go very well. And I swear I cooked those scallops perfectly. Probably not, but they were pretty good.
I missed the scallop part. Like, what happened to the scallops?
How many could he eat in a minute or something? And
yeah, it was like 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And he guess how many he ate, Joel?
Well, Mike just said 2.
I didn't. Craig said 2.
Someone said
I
2.
said 2.
So
Is that how many he got? It was
many.
bad. Whatever
I'm
it was.
not many.
Yeah, it was 2, and there was a lot of people were guessing like a dozen, 15, 10, and he got 2.
Lame.
But to each their own.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I got him to jump in the lake.
Yeah, that was an epic one too. That was cool. And everyone around us too was just like, "What is this guy doing? This is a crazy guy. He's going to lake. It's like fall, winter time."
I'm very excited. I got him to do that. I'm gonna keep. If you bring it back, I'll keep throwing out suggestions.
Right,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to come up with some stuff. All right. Korey, you're a pretty decent curler. What helped you along the way in becoming a better curler?
I'd say just being around so many. Being around my brother, first of all, was a big one. He was always my role model growing up as a really young junior. Traveling to watch him compete in every junior national championship he played in. Watching him and watching competitors that he's playing against. Also, every time his team had a practice, I was always there at the club practicing on the sheet beside. So, I'm there in the hack watching them do their thing in the hack and watching what they're working on and kind of taking that and trying to work on something similar myself and delivering a rock, getting up, sweeping the rock, trying to make shots that they're making right beside me. I think that motivated me to try to figure out how to be just like that. Moving onward, the competitors that he played against, like guys like Chris Plies, who continued to pound him because Plies was so darn good, was inspiring to look up to someone like Plies, who, I'd say was the golden child of USA curling at that point in time. And you can argue still darn near is. And watching the amount of success that he had and I thought it was so cool. And so like being able to see that and be around a lot of great curling, also being able to go to curling camps and meet people throughout the curling communities and be able to ask lots of questions and get lots of tips so that I can try to emulate the curlers that I looked up to was an important part of my growth, I think, into the sport.
Nice. Good answer.
Nice.
Hey, I just had a completely separate thought here. And when we were going back to the real estate questions, something really stupid that you saw in a house that you like toured one time, like right here is my example of it. The people who owned the house before us.
It's a giraffe?
I have, it's a giraffe. I've got like 3 different like glass doors or windows in my house that have like African savanna theme on it for some reason.
And it's etched, right? It's not like a decal that you can take off.
No, it's etched. It's etched. I've got like over here, I've got like those super tall trees where there's like no branches until you get, way up and then they just spread out like an umbrella. I've got a couple of those right here. I've got an elephant somewhere else. That's the stupid thing in my house. And we just, we've been here for 10 years now and we just decided, what the hell, we're just keeping it.
Those are just, it's funny because those are such also like such cool, like little things about houses that you wouldn't even think, like, what's the backstory around it? You know, the previous owner potentially had something, you know, special that, you know, maybe went and visited on a sweet trip and was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. Took a picture of it and wanted to like etch on their office glass door. And it's just like every time I go to work, I want to, you know, think about this moment.
Think about a giraffe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's
who knows?
Maybe it wasn't even the people we bought it from. Maybe it was the people before, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird, but anyways, I just thought I saw it, and I'm like, you know, if somebody's actually watching this, they might wonder what the fuck is going on with the giraffe back there.
This is easily the most ADD question segment that this show has ever experienced.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Questions like popcorn. Just
exactly.
Poop, poop.
All right, Joel. If
it's
you go
more
on
about getting to know our guest instead of.
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Yep,
we're doing fine. So, all right, move on. Sorry.
All right. You're going to a bonspiel with your ideal team. Doesn't matter who you bring in, live, dead, celebrity, curler, not curler. And it can be from any time period. So, doesn't matter. Rules don't apply here. Who you taking and where are you going?
We have allowed people to take a 5-person team if you'd like to take a 5-person team.
That's a packed question. I feel like I could take a long time to think about this, especially if I thought outside of the curling world. So I'm going to just think inside the curling world from any decade. And I'm going to go with someone that I've looked up to, but never really got the chance to know, who's one of the coolest and outgoing curlers ever, is Thomas Ulsrud. So I take Thomas Ulsrud as my skip. I would take someone who I never curled with, but I've gotten to know pretty darn well and have looked up to, Johnny Moe, as my third. I would play second, and I would love to bring Donnie Bartlett back as lead on the team. And I think that would be a strong team to go win the championship of fun. And
for sure,
that'd be the lineup.
What's the spiel though? Like, where are you playing?
I think you got to go somewhere where I've never been, that I've always wanted to go, but also let's say the skipper's home country. Let's go Oslo Cup.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Good. That's a pretty good team.
That's a fun team.
Yeah.
That is a good. That might be the best team that's ever been assembled.
Probably.
In that question.
Plus, you got Don, who's definitely gonna like up your dance floor game. Don's a pretty good dancer. So.
Oh yeah. Stories, dance floor, fun, and you know what? The best part about it is he'll just tell me when to sweep and when not to sweep, because he can judge a stone after it's, you know, out of someone's hand. Oh, it's back-aid. Don't even touch it. Don't worry about it. Don't even look at it.
Yeah, I've heard Don is borderline Rain Man when it comes to that. So.
Yeah, he is. He is. Right. I always enjoy the conversation with Donnie Bartlett.
All right, last one. If you had a walk-up song for curling, what would your walk-up song be?
Let's go with the one that we had for the national championship final. Let's go Narco by, what is it? Blaster Jacks.
Yep.
Blaster Jacks and Timmy Trumpet.
Yep. Great song.
Yep.
Is that the relief pitcher guy? That's his song?
Diaz from the Mets comes out to that one. Got it.
No, I know exactly what song we're talking about.
Yeah.
Never knew about it until Stapera brought it to the team. But that song slaps.
It's when that guy started coming out to it as a closer, like, that was dynamite. It's a great song. All right. We're done with the questions. Do you have any sponsors you want to shout out before we kick you off the show?
Yeah, absolutely. I just, shout out to the Toro Company. partnering with us, title sponsor. We appreciate you guys. Along with that, Hardline Curling Equipment, Darwin Cooper is one of our partners. We appreciate McKee Travels. We got Peak Protein, Parkway Irrigation, and then of course, we appreciate USA Curling for having us, and our partners with Columbia and TCL, the training house. So thank you very much for supporting us and our dreams.
You have a coupon code so we can get 10% off a 24-inch electric snowblower or anything? That would be great. If you could send that to my email.
Yeah, we'll get that one sent over right after this, Mike.
Yes. All right. Perfect.
Yeah, have your people call my people. We'll have Curling Nation 10 will be soon up on the Toro site.
Give me that coupon code. Just let me know when I need to be ready to go for Worlds. This is going to be a dynamite month for me. Super.
It's going to be busy.
Yeah.
If you now, Mike, here's a question though. If he does come through here and ask you to be 5th player, are you also going to pull your name out of the House of Hearts to make sure you stay healthy?
Although he did ask you to train on the beers.
So, I'd probably have to beer train during House of Hearts. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'd probably be okay. I think I could still do House of Hearts and admirably carry brooms to and from the rink. So I really don't think.
Does the broom bank have wheels?
It's gonna take away from how handsome I am.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I would still do House of Hearts.
Yeah, the broom bag has wheels, so it'd be okay.
We're fine.
Yeah.
That broom bag will be packed with liquid IV.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Korey, thank you for coming on. Congratulations again. You would probably say a long time coming. Definitely the monkey off your back. Appreciate you joining the show. Good luck at Worlds. Good luck at Trials. Yeah, I think that's it. Anybody else?
Thank you, guys.
Nice work. Did well.
Awesome.
Yeah, congrats. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me.
Thanks. Good curling, buddy. All right, Season 5, Episode 7 in the books. Big thanks to Korey for joining us on the show today. That was a fun conversation. Real estate, Limbo, you name it, we talked about it. Cooch does stuff. Come up with some things. Let him know on the social media. He probably wants to know. Big thanks to our sponsors, as always, Modus Financial, ModusCC.com. Check them out. Endgame Curling, endgamecurling.com. Get a new broom before the end of the season. Get something to take along on your summer spiels, whatever. If you can think of a gold medalist that we should have on the show, let us know. And
curling or
Curling Nation at curlingnetwork.com.
Curling or otherwise, we'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, curling or otherwise, we'll talk to any gold medalists. We probably have some.
Seems like lately that's all we do, though.
I know. All we do is win, just like DJ.
You know what? I'd take a silver medalist too.
Sure, we'll take any color medalist or non-medalist that are curlers,
or non-medalist that's an interesting person.
Yeah, anybody. Let us know. Email the show.
Bussin'.
We still have ends cards. If you need those for your next bond spiel or anything, hit us up on social media. We're out there. Text, phone call, whatever. Joel has to go parent. I'm getting the wrap it up symbol. Mike.
Joel.
Craig.
Good curling, everybody. Out.